What is going on, guys? Jesse504 here, coach of the Chicago Cinder Races, bringing you my week 2 against Porpoise, coach of the Evanston Jetstreams. And so since the previous video came out, our week 1, the post-draft power rankings came out. Your Chicago Cinders ranked number 1. So that's big, obviously. I always say power rankings don't really matter too much, it's how you play. But, yeah. Porpoise, his team, I think it's pretty interesting. Zygarde, Delta Mega Mawile, Alolan Ninetales, Blastoise, regular Ninetales, Torterra, Delta, Deltian Mega, Politoed, Armaldo, and Alolan Sandslash. So it's triple weather, which is kind of gimmicky, but let's just go into it. I think that going into this, rain is probably the bring here for him, and I'm going to try to make use of sort of my counterplay to rain, though I could see him just kind of going weatherless, because Zygarde on its own is strong, same with Delta Mega Mawile. Ninetales for Veil, or Alolan Ninetales for Veil is solid. Blastoise can put in work, Delta Torterra, Delta Yen Mega, those are all mons that I'm kind of afraid of. But specifically, I think the scariest mon for me this week is the Delta Yen Mega. I feel like I don't really have enough solid switch-ins for that thing. So it'll be interesting to see if I can play around it. Adaptability Hurricanes hurt. Yeah, so first off, we got the Mega Flygon. Dracon Voice, Ancient Roar, Bug Buzz, Giga Drain. This thing threatens to claim a kill almost every time that it's in. It just hits so incredibly hard that when I'm hitting, like, when I'm just clicking Dracon Voice for stab or Bug Buzz, they just both do incredible amounts. Giga Drain is here, really nice recovery option, and kind of something that is interesting is the fact that Zygarde often likes to set up subs, but a lot of these moves go through sub, which is really nice. And yeah, that kind of changes how he's gonna prep, I feel. Modest, so I can Oko the Torterra, and I'm just hoping that Porpoise, I think he's a good enough builder to not run max speed when he doesn't need to on his Ninetales. So I'm creeping Ninetales creeping me. Yeah. Up next, we have the Delta Hoopa. Aeroblast, Ice Beam, Heat Wave, Volt Switch with the Assault Vest. I went Volt Switch over U-Turn just because I'm going to get a little extra damage. And I don't really need the U-Turn when his only ground type is Delta Torterra. And while the thing is pretty threatening, I feel like it can go down eventually to the point where I don't think he wants to switch it in on me too often. And so I can just click Volt Switch. I feel like it's just going to hit for more damage. Why would I say no to that? But other than that, Aeroblast for stab, Ice Beam, and Heat Wave are pretty nice coverage options for me this week. And not really too much more to say outside of that. Up next, making his debut, we have Bramble, the Delta Tangrowth. Spike stack this week: Spikes, Stealth Rock, Body Press, and Synthesis. I feel like this thing can do well in rain or sun. It can check really a lot of his rain stuff with the dry skin ability. And it's just a solid physical defense wall that can even sit on the Zygarde as well. Mawile's kind of scary, but I put in a little bit of speed, so hopefully that'll let me outspeed it and drop it with a body press. But because Sucker Punch won't be doing much, but the Grass Stab obviously would be. I think I can live though because it doesn't have huge power anymore, but still Delta Tangrowth I feel can just put in really solid work just all around, and the spikes are really nice for wearing down his team. Up next, decided to grab my Mr. Rime. I feel like Mr. Rime into rain is pretty solid, as it can freeze dry, which hits his entire team pretty hard, minus the regular Ninetales and the Armaldo. I'm pretty sure everything else is weak to freeze dry. which is just incredible. Like, you can't have me just like leave this thing back when I think its matchup is so nice. Spin, also really helpful. Slack Off and Psychic. This is pretty much the exact same set that I brought in WPF last week, but I think it's good. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, it can claim with Freeze Dry pretty often, and it's just a solid special wall. It can heal itself. I gave it Ice Body so that I can heal up a little bit in the hail if that does happen to come, because I feel like I can soft check the Alolan Ninetales with this thing. So why not just get a little bit of recovery too? And yeah, that's my Mr. Rhyme. Up next, we got our Victini. Special Victini this week with Energy Ball, Blue Flare, Glaciate, and U-Turn. Energy Ball, I felt Energy Ball and Glaciate were solid coverage options that I really wanted this week, because Glaciate sort of, if he's starting to set speed up with his Zygarde through Dragon Dance, Glaciate will A, 2-hit KO that, and B, hopefully make it so that my Victini is faster than it, guaranteed, like at +1, yeah, and then drop it back down to neutral, and then I can revenge it other ways. But yeah, it's also just Ice, which hits this team pretty hard. Scarf, so hopefully I can threaten out the Delta Yen Mega, which is incredibly scary for me. Like, I had to bring AV Hoopa, and everything else just kind of dies to Specs Hurricane, pretty much. So I can like outspeed it, but if it runs Scarf, that would be kind of scary. But yeah, that's this Victini. And then last up, I got a Delta Darmanitan with U-Turn, Ice Punch, Knockoff, and Flame Charge. I felt like that was kind of all of the stuff that I really needed. And holding an Expert Belt, I feel like Flame Charge will let me just get going a little faster. I'm unnerved because I feel like he might run some Resist Berries, and Wonder Skin, like, yeah, it's kind of cool, but it's kind of just, I feel like the Pinch Berries could be coming. So rocking out with this Darmanitan set, I feel like gives me a solid option. And then kind of Knockoff just chunks down his entire team. The only knock resist, I believe, is the Ninetales and the Delta Mawile, and I have coverage for both of them, though Flame Charge isn't exactly a strong move. And then just U-Turn for momentum because I didn't really need another coverage option. But yeah, that's my set going into this week, and I'll bring you guys the battle when it comes up.
Alrighty, just sent the opponent the challenge. I'll unpause when we get into it. Alrighty, so we see the Alolan Ninetales, Sandslash Alola. Alright, sorry about that. We see the Alolan Ninetales, Alolan Sandslash, Delta Torterra, Armaldo, Ninetales, and Blastoise. So we see two Ninetales here. Very similar to what I faced in the mock, but no Zygarde. But I'm actually fine with Armaldo over Zygarde, and Ninetales over Politoed. So what I lead here, I think, there's a lot of options. Victini seems like a safe lead, though. And we see Victini into Armaldo. I'm fine just U-turning out here, I think. No real downside to just doing that. And we hit it for 10%. I'm gonna go into my... I think I'm gonna want to go into my Darmanitan. And we see it go for just a knockoff. Alright, I'm fine with that. I'm just gonna fire off my own knockoff. It's gonna hit really hard, I think, and nothing really wants to come in and take that. Not quite as hard as I would have wanted. They just set up their rocks. Cool, I'm fine with that. I'm going to Flame Charge. Get a little bit of speed for myself as they go for a Rock Slide. We live those on 2. Now I think I'm just gonna knock off, try to solid damage onto the Armaldo, and I can go into my Delta Tangrowth. Get up my rocks first. Actually, rocks are pretty solid here, though he does have spin on here, so I'm just gonna body press, does damage to everything. Tangrowth picking up a kill. Okay. I think Ninetales is a pretty free swap in here. No reason really not to. But I can just go out into my Victini. And really I have coverage for his whole team, bar his own Ninetales, which could come Flashfire, but I'm not sure. But just looking at his team right now, a lot of it is dead to Mega Flygon, which is insane. Yeah, okay. Freezes me. Okay. I'm just gonna click Blue Flare and hope that this thaws. Okay. Well, I don't like that. I'm gonna see if he will thaw me. But he reveals to be Flashfire Ninetales. We stay frozen. We eat a Scorching Sands. Which thaws. Okay. Victini is dead on the switch, and I'm just going to drop this Ninetales' speed, which is helpful to me so that I can bring in my Hoopa safely and just kind of click moves on his team. Cool. That's fine. Or let me go ahead. This thing. Mega Evolve, click Ancient Roar. Dead. Okay. Let's see what he wants to switch into. One second. I'm going to... He reveals to go out into the Ninetales. I'm gonna pause this real quick so I can pull up a damage calc for this meta. Alright, and we're back. How much does a Blizzard do? It shouldn't quite be KOing me. And I believe the calc to get the correct boost is like that. And that's the wrong tab, but looks like I can just kind of go into my Mr. Rhyme here. And I can Rapid Spin. The thing that worries me here is the Alolan Sandslash, which, yep, it comes in. But I can go out into my Tangrowth, which actually does a pretty good job of taking these hits. I need a little more chip on that Flygon. Or not on the Flygon, on the Ninetales. And then additionally, I need, let me just check my calcs. Sandslash Alola at +2 Spadef. Doing about 50 to this thing, and Crash would be KIing. Sometimes. Body Press. It's fine. We are Water Absorb. I'm gonna get my rocks up here. I need those for late game. Or not Water Absorb, but Dry Skin. But same thing. That Liquidation heals me up. And I can click Spikes. So this Hail mode is kind of scaring me a little bit. But I think Mr. Rhyme does a solid enough job walling the Sandslash. Body presses me, does not do a lot. I can just get up a ton of spikes. Out comes the Ninetales. I can go into my Mr. Rhyme and just start hitting things hard. he sets up his Veil. I'm just going to click Psychic. He can probably go out into his Sand Slash here, but I'm just going to need to stall Veil, which might come down to sacking something so I can get a free screen clean. I'm just going to go back out into my Tangrowth. No reason not to. And amidst all this, he is taking a ton of chip. I'm going to Body Press. I believe, based on my mock, I do live a Crash. He just goes for Ice Shard. And I can just pick up another one with Tang. And then I can kind of just let it go down to the Ninetales. He goes Blastoise. Alright. I don't want to let this thing get up a free Shell Smash, so I'm just going to hit it. And then Hoopa should be able to, with an AV, tank really well. For Mr. Rhyme. He reveals Ice Beam. So I'm going to go ahead and calc with my Hoopa real quick against a Blastoise that's at +2. It says Ice Beam is doing livable amounts of damage, so looks like that is my play. Or, yeah, and then I can just Volt Switch out. He could go... Yeah, okay. With the AV, we live, fired off the Volt Switch, and we go out into the Flygon. He can go Torterra, I can Giga Drain on that, and I can live a Blizzard, it says. So, and he is revealed to be... whatchamacallit? He's revealed to be Light Clay, based on how long the Aurora Veil lasted, I believe. Torterra, that's fine. Giga Drain up on that thing. It might get like Aqua Jet, which he might have, but yeah, it does. Cool. We Giga Drain up on this thing, back up to 100, and we should be living. Click Ancient Roar to hit. Do I have this? Yeah, Mr. Rhyme got it. Mr. Rhyme should got it at least. Yeah, okay. So we ended up picking up this game 2-0, and yeah. So picking up the game 2-0, I really like that. I wish I could have been better. I don't think I played too sloppily though. I think it was just he brought a really nice team here, and I was kind of just like playing a little bit weirdly. Obviously the freeze on the Victini ended up being somewhat annoying, but I don't think it impacted this game too much. And then I kind of messed up a little bit early game, but I was still able to bring home the victory on the back of some nice, I think, pretty solid sets with my Hoopa, especially being Assault Vest. That helped me tremendously, because if I take off that Assault Vest in the calc, Ice Beam was not quite KOing still because of just the 16 HP EVs, but yeah, I made sure to have that just in case, but still able to clutch this out nonetheless. Yeah, that's all from me. Starting out 2-0, always really strong, but until next time, Jesse504 out. Peace.